What's going on, Commanders fan and NFL fans? We just wanted to give you a huge shout-out. We're live here in Houston, Texas. Just got our big win of the year. Yeah, man. It's been a good game. Looking forward to having you guys back out for the next home game. Go Commanders.
Commanders fans, big win. Come back home next week against Atlanta. Hope to see you guys there.
Let's go, baby.
10 win today for the Commanders, who beat the Texans on the road, improved to 6-5, and a team, Fred, that was 1-4 not that long ago. Suddenly turned things around with wins in 5 of their last 6 games, and had the Atlanta Falcons coming into FedEx Field next week. Jumped on the Texans early. That pick 6 by Kendall Fuller on the second offensive play of the game really got them going. Never looked back.
Yep, never looked back after that.
20-0 at halftime. Maybe, a little sloppy in the second half. Offense wasn't the best today. We'll talk about all that stuff, but a win is a win, and now 6-5 on the year.
A little slow in the second half. I thought they came out, and the one thing that allowed this offense to not have a lot of pressure was the fact that Kendall Fuller got to pick 6 that allowed them to play with a lead, and then they took some of the pressure off Heineke in the offense to move the ball up and down the field, but really jumped on them in the first half. I thought they played good in the second half. I thought they didn't play great, but, hey, I got to give this defense some props. This defense, after me saying they haven't got a turnover in months, they getting turnover after turnover after turnover, and that changes football games.
Yeah, big another pick from Derek Forrest, who seems to just find the football this season.
It's finding him.
It's been great to see. So a team that was really having a hard time creating takeaways is now creating takeaways. If you look at that has been a big key to this turnaround over the last 6. They're +7 in the last 6, after being -7 in the first 5 games. So that has been a big part of it. We'll get in the locker room down in Houston here a little bit with Julie Donaldson and London Fletcher. We'll get to your calls at 1-800-493-1003. If you're joining us on the YouTube, you'll be able to see all those interviews there, or if you're listening to us around the Washington Commanders Radio Network, the Big 100 in D.C. or wherever you may be. We are brought to you by Window Nation. Buy 2 windows and get 2 free and pay nothing until 2025. Visit WindowNation.com.
Remember the number 2 is all over this place. Just 2222.
WindowNation.com. So another week they were able to not activate Chase Young.
Yep.
Looks like that's going to happen next week at this point when they play at home against the Falcons. But a good pressure today. A couple sacks for your Bulldog.
Yep.
Montez Sweat. You had Jonathan Allen in there. You had Deron Payne in there. John Ridgeway did something that looked like one of those like WWE moves back in the day.
His new nickname is Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
But he did get penalized for it.
He did, but I thought as a defense, as a team, it gives off something. We're rough. We're going to swap some paint. This defense, we're not taking any. We're coming out here to inflict pain. That's what it says. Like I said, when I was playing, we would have divvied that fine up with the whole defense. Like the whole defense, we would have divvied it up, and we would have paid that fine for Ridgeway.
Well, that was boy, that was a great – he literally lifted.
Yeah, he did.
Damian Pierce is not a small guy either. I mean,
belly
he's
to
a
belly,
big back, man.
Belly to belly suplexed him. See, he did one of the moves that you'll do on your little brother, and your grandma end up spanking you because you didn't hurt your little brother.
So the Texans ended up with just 48 yards total today. But this defense is really good. I mean, they came out. I mean, Houston couldn't run the ball. They were very inept. I mean, this has been a team that – look, this was kind of a trap game.
It was.
Because you win,
and I hate to say
short
that word
week,
trap.
But I felt like it was a trap game all week.
It was.
A lot of celebration, obviously, after that win. Even Ron Rivera said in the postgame on Monday night, we got to calm some of these guys down. It's great, but we got to kind of conduct ourselves like we've been here
before.
Even though we haven't.
We haven't. I'm going to say, like, hey,
if
you ain't been there, you ain't been there.
I mean, this team hasn't been 6-5 or over 500 this late in the year. You got to go back to the 2018 season for the last time they've been over 500.
Either when I was playing, either or.
Well, there was the Alex Smith year, of course. I believe there were a few games
over
500 when he broke his leg.
Yep.
So that was the last time it happened. Obviously, last year, the year before, they got back to 500 at various points late in the season, but were never able to sustain it. But, look, you got Atlanta next week. We know that it's the Giants, bye-week Giants. So everything's in front of them. I mean, they really
control
have
your
control,
own
right?
we control our own destiny. And how many times at this point in the season have we had to rely on other teams to beat other teams so we can either get in the playoffs, sneak in the playoff, or something happen? No, we control our destiny with this team, and I think offensively, defensively, and special teams, they got everything needed to go in.
All right, we're going to get into the locker room coming up, but we're going to take a timeout. You're watching the Command Center after a win. 23-10 Commanders over the Texans. You're watching Command Center post-game live on the Washington Commanders YouTube channel, and you're listening to the Washington Commanders football.
Fourth down, seconds on the clock. He hands it off, finds a hole in the middle. Clear, nothing but move! Incredible! A touchdown for the win. I can't believe it!
Pizza, better with Pepsi.
You ever wonder why people are always on their phones? They're banking with Bank of America. Look at this guy. He bought those tickets on his credit card and he's racking up the rewards.
She's using Zelle to pay him back for the hot dogs he's about to buy.
That's going to bring it to
And
a
the
close here
announcer?
after 3.
He's not checking the stats. He's finding some investment ideas with Merrill.
And third, as you know, in baseball means 3.
Digital tools so impressive, you just can't stop banking. What would you like the power to do?
To build the all-new Honda CR-V Hybrid, we took everything you love about the CR-V and kicked it up a notch with excellent fuel efficiency and greater power. For a CR-V unlike any before, adventure confidently with the most fuel-efficient full-line automaker in America. The all-new CR-V and CR-V Hybrid, part of the Honda line of rugged vehicles.
Well, my baby does gives me special love. It's the kind of stuff.
Honey, it's your turn.
I'm on cloud 9.
Pizza, better with Pepsi.
Now, you had an interception in college. I think it went for, 75 yards? Yeah. You know which one I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're
Repaint
talking
that picture for the people that didn't see it.
Oh,
Tell me a little bit about it.
We was playing Tennessee.
I hate them volunteers. I hate them hound dogs, man. I hate
but
them
at the same time, it's the best feeling in the world when you get a pick six inside of their stadium. I definitely can remember a little bit on that one. That was a whole lot dealing with film as well. So leading up to the game, it was just one of those things we just was trying to do as much as we can to just slow Jarrett Garantano down. And we just was looking at how he just progressed his game throughout the years and whatnot. And I remember going into it, I was like, man, I seen this look all week in practice, and I know it's coming, but I'm like, it can't be that easy.
But it's tight end or wide receiver? Receiver. All right.
I don't call names, but I just was like,
yeah, go let him know. Hey, I throw shade all the time.
Oh, no, that ain't my game, man. I just play ball. But, I got back in my drop, and I'm already a little tired. I'm a little winded and whatnot. But I got in my drop, and I seen the ball. I'm like, man, he really threw this. All right, well, let's show him who Jamin Davis is.
Yeah.
So, caught the ball, and I just got rolling. And I'm damn near out there jogging for real. And I'm like, man, I'm tired, but I'm about to go ahead and get this pick six. And I got there and get to the sideline. I'm lightheaded as I don't know what.
Yeah.
Man. I'm just like.
And knowing you got to go back out there.
And I got to go back out there the next
Was that your first touchdown since your offense? Didn't you play some offense in high school? That was your first one since then?
That was my first one since then.
So it felt good getting back in that zone, right?
It felt good, man. It was a blessing to get a taste of that end zone again, man. So.
Commanders postgame show. Here are your hosts, Scott Jackson and Fred Smoot.
23-10 win down in Houston, and we're going to send it back to Houston, where the head coach, Ron Rivera, standing by Julie Donaldson, brought to you by Finch Turf, your exclusive John Deere golf and sports turf dealer. Julie, with the coach. Julie?
Coach Rivera, congratulations. 2 wins in a row here. We were talking about how to keep the team emotionally stable from the high of defeating the Philadelphia Eagles to coming into this game. Did you feel the team getting your message this week?
I believe they did. I mean, I thought we came out in the first half and did the things that we were supposed to, and, to give us a chance to take the lead, and then we were able to, hold them out. And it's one of those things that I do feel we could have played better in the second half. We should have played better. But credit to Houston. They didn't lay down and roll over. They kept fighting, and, they scored some points.
They're not a team necessarily to look past, despite the fact that they've just had 1 win on the season. The team seemed to understand that. You started out on defense with a pick 6 by Kendall Fuller, 5 sacks in this game, a second interception by Derek Forrest, and you held them to just 6 total yards in that first half. What are you seeing from your defense lately?
Well, I think they're really gelling. They're playing at a tempo that we need them to play at, and they're being opportunistic. They're making plays when they get a chance to, and that's really big.
If we talk about the identity of the team, you've really come on lately with Brian Robinson coming back, being able to get the ground game going a little bit. Taylor Heineke, the offense, a little bit different. What would you say the identity of this team is, especially on offense?
Well, I think to play physical and play downhill more so than anything else. And, if we can run the ball, it helps us to sustain things, to make things happen, and that's important. And I think that's a big part of, how we can have success. That's to play physical defense and to be physical up front at the point of attack and run the ball downhill.
What are you seeing from Taylor Heineke, and do we know who's going to be the quarterback going forward?
Well, Taylor's going to be the quarterback going forward for now, and we're going to continue to do things that we do. We're going to focus in on one game at a time, and we'll go from there. As we start to get ready for Atlanta, I think it's important that we just stay focused on playing those one games at a time.
All right, 2 wins in a row. Congratulations, Coach. Thank you.
Julie.
All right, we're going to keep it here as the team is going to be celebrating another win. It looks like we have Curtis Samuel probably coming up hidden here. Coach Rivera, obviously, they're talking about how the team started off on offense and on defense. One of the issues that they did struggle with there, though, in the second half was really kind of converting on third downs. Once they got into the red zone, being able to score touchdowns as opposed to just field goals. I know that's something that they're going to work on, but we bring in Curtis Samuel here. Congratulations. That's your first rushing touchdown since 2020 with Carolina. I was really expecting a little more of a celebration in the end zone. Why not?
Honestly, I didn't have a dance in mind coming into this game. That's kind of tough. I usually
you came in unprepared,
is
what you're saying.
Dance in mind. I always have a dance in mind.
Yeah. It's pulled up. Yeah. Okay. All right. So maybe it was good to see you get in there. I know we do a lot with the pass, and man, once again we're just talking about how you are so shifty out there on the field. How are you feeling in kind of like the way that they're using you, how they're using you, and what you're able to add to this offense?
I feel like we're doing a good job. I'm dynamic. I'm versatile. I can catch the ball out the backfield. I could go downfield. Playing receiver. I can run the ball out the backfield. I feel like we create so many mismatches. To a defense, and I feel like we're doing a great job.
How is it with Taylor Heineke? What is it that this offense is working with him under center?
We know he's going to come in and make something happen. We confident in him. He going to make plays down the field. He going to extend plays, and he going to play hard, and he's going to be tough out there.
I know Coach Rivera was just saying, yes, this is a win. This is something that you guys can celebrate, but there's still a lot of things on the field, especially in the second half, that we want to work. Third down conversions again. Converting once you are in the red zone. What does it need to happen to make those work?
We definitely never satisfied. Even with a win, we know there's some things out there that we left behind. And, going into next week, all we can do is watch the film, learn from our mistakes, and just try to be better next week.
Where's the confidence of this team right now? It's really turned the corner from starting 1-4, one of the hottest teams in the NFL at the moment.
I feel like confidence is pretty high, and I feel like that's all at practice. We go out there and practice hard each and every week. We got a strong task, no matter whoever we're playing against, and we always just want to finish.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Curtis.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Congratulations.
I think I broke it.
No. It's we're working with equipment as best we can here. I want to bring in London Fletcher. Let's get your thoughts on this one, London. It's great. I don't know how Curtis was saying he didn't come in prepared with a touchdown dance. We'll have to make sure that he does get that worked on. But look, this is another celebratory locker room, and this is a win that coming into this we knew, especially after that performance that we saw on Monday Night Football. But this team had what it takes to be able to put it away. Coach Rivera still seemed a little bit unsatisfied. He felt like there were plays out there that still they wanted to be able to get more of, which goes to show the expectation, the standard that he's trying to set with this team. Wins are just not enough. It's what you do and how you get them.
Yeah, absolutely. And Coach is trying to establish a winning culture that's sustainable, not getting too high and understanding that, we won the ball game, but there's so many things that we need to correct moving forward. And, just you're happy about the win, especially coming off that emotional Monday night game, but there's so many more things you need to do better, whether it's from an offensive standpoint, defensive standpoint, because the Houston Texans, they started to move the ball against us in the second half. And so there's a lot of things that you can look at and teaching opportunities. Obviously, you love that it's a win that you're teaching.
He did say also that Taylor Heineke is going to be the quarterback moving forward. Had a conversation with Carson Wentz about that. I'm not sure with the way that this team is going, how you would make that decision. It would be a very difficult decision to not go with or to go with Carson over Taylor. But what have you seen that has this team kind of rallying around him?
Well, it's just the energy that he brings to the games, the playmaking ability, the extended plays, just the galvanizing them, so to speak. And, nothing against Carson, but it's just, I don't know, you mentioned the underdog mentality in the past of how they kind of relate to Taylor. And they've been winning ball games, and his ability to make off-schedule plays is something that puts problems for defenses, presents problems for defenses.
Yeah, one of the issues that they were having with Carson, of course, is he was getting sacked a lot, and it's hard to be able to convert on anything when you do have a quarterback that wants to stand in the pocket and really kind of stretch the field. He has the arm to be able to do that compared to maybe what Taylor Heineke does, but maybe the short intermediate routes, they're moving the ball, they're eating up the clock. it's working. But third downs, red zone continues to be an issue, and it was once again in this game. What do you think needs to happen in those situations?
Well, today was definitely tough in the red zone, also tough on third down from a convergence standpoint. Just really honing in on that aspect of it, being on, maybe different play designs. The Chicago Bears, they're a tough defensive front in terms of what they do from a coverage standpoint. It makes it kind of difficult. I like the fact that Taylor didn't try to force it. Yeah, try to force it into those windows, because that's what they want you to do. They want you to try to force it into those zone defense and then try to pick you off.
He's being smart, and of course the defense is playing stout. 5 sacks on the day, 2 interceptions as well in this one. We like the play of that. We're going to send it back up to Fred and Scott. Of course, if more guys come up here from the locker room, including Taylor Heineke, we'll bring that to you.
All right, thanks, Julie. Thanks, London. And you heard, again, what they were just talking about, Fred, moments ago. Ron Rivera letting it out, which, there was some pregame reporting on this today, and I don't think it's a shock to any of us that Taylor Heineke is going to continue to play quarterback.
It doesn't shock me
as long as they keep winning games. And they're not going to mess with
goes.
What's winning right now. So he's going to continue to be the guy, and that's, again, I think you and I talked about this after the Monday game, said it would perhaps be a mutiny if you went another direction.
You got to go with the hot hand. That's with any coach. Like the one thing about it, the best ability in this league is availability. And when you're not available, you give somebody else a chance to prove they are. See, that's what Darryl Green told me when I came as a rookie. I asked him, 20 years, dude, how do you keep a job? He said, what's my backup name? I didn't know the guy's name. That's what it was. He never let that guy play. And now that Heineke has got in and we get on the winning streak, think about this. What kind of winning streak is we're 1 or 2 plays away in the Minnesota Viking game from these guys not losing any games. All right, so no, you cannot take that out of the equation and then put Carson back in. You'll lose the respect of the whole locker room if you did that.
All right, we're going to get to calls in a bit. We'll also get back down to Houston here and a few to hear from Taylor Heineke. 800-493-1003, 800-493-1003 to join us here on the Commanders postgame show, whether you're watching us YouTube or watching listening, I should say, on Big 100 in D.C. or all around the Washington
Commanders. You got me
Commanders
conscious, Jack. I can't be messing with
What's
you.
that?
Ever since you said I was losing my hair, I can't stop looking at it in the screen.
The good news is you can't see it. It's on the back of the top part. It's the top part. Luckily, we don't have overhead cameras, or both of us would be in trouble. I mean,
stop spreading rumors. My teammate combs his hair over all the time, and I said something about it. He was like, "No, you going bald." I just want to tell you
on the top part. We need to get a shot of it.
Hey, listen, man.
We have video evidence of it now, but it's just up here. It's just up here. I mean, you're not LeBroning. It's not like it's going up here. You know what I mean?
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
LeBroning.
It's not like LeBroning. It's just the very top, and that's where it always starts for everybody, like right up here, and it's very frustrating.
I wish I had a red flag. I'd throw it out there for a replay on that one, man.
All right, 23-10. Let's get to some of the numbers brought to you by Novak, powering a bright future for you. Commanders 21st down, Texans 11. You heard Ron Rivera said, look, they got to get better on third down, red zone. 3 for 13 today for the Commanders. Not good, but still had 67 plays to 54 for the Texans. But this could have been a much bigger game, though, had they been able to convert on some of those third downs. Do a better job in the red zone. Again, settling for field goals, just the 2 touchdowns. 1 for 4 in the red zone in terms of touchdowns today. But, hey, Joey Sly, I mean, he's in a rhythm. Give him credit. He's hit 3 field goals again today.
I told you I'm finna go get a shirt with an eyeball on it and a foot kick in the eye. Kick him in the eye, Joey Sly. I trust this guy. Like, our special teams could be one of the top units in the league. We got a kicker kicking them from 55, 58 yards, and we got a punter. Hey, I trust the Tress way. I trust the Tress way. So at the end of the day, I'm not worried about special team. And let me tell you something about this punt team of ours. It's bigger than Tress way.
Yeah.
Those Gunners and Cheese and the rest of those guys make plays. A solid special team will always keep you in the game.
All right, the numbers in terms of Taylor Heineke today, 15 of 27, 191 yards, no interceptions, no fumbles. Antonio Gibson today, 18 carries, 72 yards, was your leading rusher. Brian Robinson had a day where he finished with 57 yards on 15 carries as a team, 153 yards rushing, 3.8 a carry. Of course, Curtis Samuel, who we just heard from a while ago, had a touchdown run of 10 yards out. Logan Thomas, good to see him more active today.
Good to see
5
Logan
for 65,
healthy.
right?
Good to see Logan healthy because I didn't like seeing Logan in the beginning of the season. He was lumbering out there like Frankenstein. I wanted to see him then. So
all right, let's go back down to Houston where Julie Donaldson's standing by with Taylor Heineke.
And here we are, winning quarterback, Taylor Heineke. Getting kind of used to this, right? Feeling good?
Feeling great.
Okay, 4-1, and because 4-1, head coach Ron Rivera has already gone and said, moving forward, you are the quarterback. What does that say to you and the way that you're leading this team?
It means a lot. Again, it's a dream I've had as a kid to be starting quarterback in the NFL. So, whenever you get named that position, it's very special to me. All the hard work that I've put in throughout the years, and for it to come full circle and to be doing this right now, it's very special. So hopefully we just keep this thing rolling.
We know you talk about how you play, and guys will say as if like this is maybe your last time ever being on the field. Guys seem to really kind of rally around that and the energy. But when the media's not around, when people are around, what is that with you and your teammates that has this kind of connection and something that maybe we can't entirely explain?
Yeah, throughout the years, I've kind of learned that, football is not going to be there forever, but the relationships that you make are. And so, when you guys aren't around and we're not practicing, we have a little bit of time off and during the day. I make it a point to go hang out with all the guys in the locker room, whether it's linebackers, DBs, defensive line, doesn't matter. Developing those relationships, I feel, gets everyone closer together and they want to fight harder for each other. So doing that, and then at lunch, eating lunch with people that you don't normally eat with, I think that goes a long way. And I'm just happy for the guys. They're working really hard right now.
Where do you feel the biggest growth in your game has come?
I think being decisive today didn't really show that too much, but getting the ball out of my hand, letting those playmakers do their thing with the ball. I think that's the biggest thing. Trying to play clean football. I think I've made strides in that. Obviously, there's still stuff to improve, but I feel like I'm playing a lot better than I did last year.
We feel like there's a lot of smarts coming in your game as of late as well, which is resulting in the not as many turnovers per se. It's all about the shoes these days with you. We know the offensive line was getting the shoes for the win over Philadelphia today, this game.
Tight ends are going to get the shoes this week.
You started something here.
I know. I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing. My pocket might be broke after this, but those tight ends, they're just as much part of that run game as the offense line is, and they're doing a great job. We have a couple of rookies that were busting their ass. So again, they need to be compensated. So a couple of Jordans coming their way.
All right, we'll work your way through potentially maybe every position group on offense. If there's enough win at the end, London Fletcher, myself, media, we're going to work our way into that one, okay? Congratulations, Taylor. Enjoy this one.
Thanks, Julie. Appreciate it.
All right, let's go back to Fred Scott.
A 23-10 win, and you heard Taylor Heineke. They just keep winning, man.
Hey, listen.
You just keep the conversation from being over.
It ain't a pair of Jordan safe right now. Like, he going to be bought every color of Jordan. Because we got Falcons, so they go a black and red pair right there. We got the Giants twice. There's two blue and white pairs right there. So, hey, listen, it's a group win anytime Heineke is out there. The offensive line in sync with the running backs, the wide receivers, the tight end. He's right. We don't know why they winning on offense. All I know is when plays need to be made, Curtis Samuel pokes his head out, Terry McLaurin pokes his head out, and everybody else always adding in their 2 cents. Today it was Logan, who I thought had a big game. And like I said before, we went to them in the locker room. It's just good to see Logan running around as himself. Like, that's what I think sometimes people don't really get. When we get injured, all we trying to do is get back to ourselves first. And just to see Logan run around without a brace, looking comfortable, looking good, that's good for us.
Well, he's definitely looking more comfortable. I mean, look, Kendall Fuller making a play right away. He's been a ball hawk throughout his career. It was good to see him get his hands on it and run it back for a touchdown. We've been asking for defensive touchdowns, gotten 2 in the last 2 weeks. Has been great. Trey Turner. A healthy Trey Turner has been a much better.
He's been a blessing.
Position of that guard than the guy we saw early this season who had to play earlier than expected because of injuries.
Well, listen, not only has Trey been good and been a leader, I got to give some props to, you know what, I'm going to church after we leave here because the Saint Juice just keep on blessing us. Like, listen, he's not going to be an interception guy, but he's going to be a turnover causer. He's caused the turnover today, and Defro just continues. Just get me around the ball.
It's amazing.
Get me around the one thing I know about turnovers, they are infectious. They come in bunches, and that's what we're seeing right now. And these guys, man, they believe. Right now, they believe, and for the first time in a long time, we seeing the front end of the defense and the back end of the defense play off each other. We wonder why we weren't getting the sacks earlier. They wasn't playing off each other. You wonder why we weren't getting interceptions earlier. They weren't playing off each other. Now they look to be in sync.
No doubt about it. There's a formula. There's a style they're playing. I mean, this was by far the easiest win they've had of all of them. to this point.
No stress in this game.
Yeah,
It wasn't stressful for nobody, not even the fans. Like you say, I'm losing hair. This is why.
All right, let's go down here from the Mississippi State Bulldog who's standing by with London Fletcher. London?
Here with one of the defensive stars of this ball game, Montez. What was the mindset of you guys defensively coming into this ball game?
Choke them out. We just wanted to be really efficient. Give Taylor a chance to put some points on the board, and just take the explosives away and get on the quarterback.
Defensively, you guys as a front were able to get to Davis Mills 5 times. You got 2 of those sacks. I know you've been close a lot in this season. How did it feel to finally get a couple sacks?
Man, it feels good. It's a huge relief, but the hunger it still stays. I mean, we just want to affect the QB, whether that's sacks, hurries, hits. It doesn't matter. We just want to affect them.
All right, we appreciate you joining us,
yes,
man.
Sir.
I know you got to go. All right. Yeah, we got Derek Forrest, another defensive stalwart in this ball game. Defoe, man, another interception. What has been the key for you making these plays in the last couple ball games?
Definitely hustle, hard work, and just reading my keys. Going out there and seeing what the offensive set is, seeing what's going to develop off of the offensive set, and then going to make a play.
How was it from an emotional standpoint to play the type of game you guys played Monday night in Philadelphia, then coming on the road again against the Houston Texans team, 1-7-1, coming into that game? Just from a mental standpoint, what was that challenge?
I feel like it's definitely boosting our potential, our momentum, and then it's coming out as confidence. We're coming out here, we're playing way more confident, we're playing together, and we're playing as a team. Offense, defense, and special teams, man. So it's just boosting our confidence for sure.
And Coach Del Rio and Coach Rivera talked about being able to have yourself, Bobby McCain, and Cam Curl on the field at the same time. What's it like being out there with those other two safeties?
Between our relationship, man, it's just like you out there with your brothers, man. You just playing football in the yard, man. So that's how I see it, man. We're out there, we're playing together, and we're bouncing off each other, bouncing things off of each other, bouncing plays off each other, man. And we're going out there, we're playing as a team.
All right, man. We appreciate you, man. Go keep it going. We're gonna bring in Logan Thomas, another the tight end who was able to do some great things. Logan, you had a really nice game catching the football this week. What was it like to finally, get a couple of receptions in this ball game?
It felt good. I've been telling our tight ends for the last couple of weeks, we're just contract killers, man. Like, whatever they need us to do, we're going to do. We might not get no glory for it, but we're going to get the job done. So it just feels good to have the ball in my hands a couple times and make a play or two.
Yeah, I know it felt good to catch some passes this week after Monday's game. You were doing some devastating blocks in that Eagles game. From a physical standpoint, are you finally fully healthy?
Yeah, I feel good. Not even a full year out yet, so I got about 5% left of the explosion in it. But other than that, I feel great. So I feel like I'm pretty dang close to 100%.
When you look at these guys, the defensive, the tight ends, what's the limit? What's the versatility like with you guys?
So we have so much versatility, with the tight ends, receivers, running backs, just making plays all over the field, line them up all over the field, and Curtis running the football, other guys running the football that don't normally touch it. So you just got to keep your eye on everybody, which makes it tough on a defense.
All right, man. Appreciate you joining me.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to bring Julie back in here. Julie Donaldson. Julie, we got, Logan doing things. We got Defoe, the defensive lineman, Tez. Just an outstanding performance by those guys in general.
One of the things I think we talk about, and we've been kind of really missing for a little while, is playing complementary football. So when the defense is playing well, the offense is playing well, special teams is playing well. And we certainly saw that at full force against Philadelphia. And in this game, you saw where at times where, the offense maybe wasn't going as much, but it was the defense that stepped up. They're the one that scored the touchdown. And then they get going back. So it's really nice to be able to see this team kind of playing together. And there's great playmakers on all sides of the ball as well.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. You mentioned the offense or the defense getting it started. That Kendall Fuller interception in return for a touchdown. I thought that was a pivotal moment in the game. You're coming into an emotional high of beating the Philadelphia Eagles, and now you get that interception. That's the way you want to start a ball game.
And again, from the way that this team started at 1-4, I mean, it was really dire around this team in the locker rooms. You felt like, okay, things are about to fall apart. And now that we look at Washington they are above 500. This locker room, even Terry McLaurin was saying, it's probably one of the best closely knitted locker rooms that they've been in for a while. And you know how important, how valuable that is. The guys feel like they have each other's back. It's chemistry within the team.
Oh yeah, that's extremely important. When when you got a group of guys that you love playing with, and then you're winning on the football field, man, it's just an outstanding feeling.
All right, it's enjoyable to be here. The wins are always great to have, of course. We do wish you all a wonderful and a happy Thanksgiving. I can't believe it's already time for that. Where's the season gone? We're already halfway through. But, of course, we will see you next weekend against Atlanta. But let's now wrap it up from here in Houston with a victory. We send it to Scott and Fred.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you, London. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys as well. By the way, Montez Sweat ended with 2 sacks today.
It's supposed to have been 3. Yeah, they robbed my guy.
Allen had 2 as well, and Payne had 1. But I felt like there was that 1 sack that could have been Montez's.
Half and a half.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
But they need to go back because I thought he was 2.5 sacks today. He really got at them guys. The run house of Payne got at these guys.
He got 1 as well.
John Allen treated the rookie Green, Kenyon Green.
Yeah.
Tossed him out the club.
Well, John Allen already has more tackles for loss this season, and obviously there's still several more games to go, 6 more games to go. So he's already has had a career year in that regard.
You say it's all pro.
I think he's all pro. I mean, as you know, usually the guy that keeps him out of it is the kid, and the kid. He's the old man now in Los Angeles, and Aaron Donald. But Aaron Donald's not having an Aaron Donald kind
Chris
of year.
Jones, Simmons, Jeffrey Simmons.
Jeffrey Simmons is very good with the Titans.
Fletcher Cox is a suspect that's usually up there.
Yeah, Fletcher Cox could be as well. They're having a good year, but the more this team wins, the more attention John's going to get, obviously. And he's been very complimentary of his cohort there, Duran, and how he's had it at a different level this year, and it's helped him raise his level. And
well, you know what? Who we not giving
everybody's
props to?
feeding.
Who we not giving props to is Hacksaw Jim Duggan, a.k.a. Ridgeway, because Ridgeway is taking the double teams, allowing these guys to get one-on-ones. Now they going to beat their one-on-ones. They are freeing each other up. They can't double team Sweat. They can't double team Allen. They can't double team Payne. They have to. Everybody has to earn their check when you play against this defensive line. And this defensive line is causing problems. They're out there. They're earning their check right now. So I had to give them full respect in that. They're earning their check.
All right, let's take a timeout. We'll come back, and we'll get to your calls. 800-493-1003, 800-493-1003. If you're joining us on the YouTube, keep it locked here, or you can hit us on the phone lines next, 800-493-1003. You're watching Command Center Postgame live on the Washington Commanders YouTube channel and listening on the Washington Commanders Radio Network.
Gary.
From selecting the perfect produce and triple checking its quality to preparing it for you, we have perfected the art of fresh.
One bag.
The winter play was really coming together. Until disaster struck. Tensions were high. Luckily, replacement costumes were shipped with FedEx, which means Mr. Harvey could picture the perfect night. We're ready for the holidays, so you're ready for what's next.
5 minutes, fellas, 5 minutes.
I appreciate it, man. Oh, okay, you getting that bet in before the boom, huh?
Yeah, you LA all the way.
What? Oh, come on, man. You know it's Boston, baby. Stop it.
KG, I understand why you said it, but it's LA.
Jay, are you serious?
You know what? It's LA.
Why are you standing up?
Because I got to stretch on out. Because it's LA. You know what? You ain't scaring me. Let me tell you something. That ain't
Boston, Boston, Boston.
It's LA.
I heard you a fan of cars going in a circle at 200 miles per hour.
I love it.
How did you fall in love with NASCAR?
That's crazy because, like, all the way back to my childhood days, I just was hooked on racing, man. Formula One, MotoGP,
NASCAR, so it's all of
everything. Yeah. I just was hooked on it. And then NASCAR, it got to the point where I was just watching it religiously every Sunday, almost just like with football.
Yeah.
So, my little brother was a Jeff Gordon fan. My sister was into it as well with Dale Jr. So I was
I'm a
like,
Dale
man.
Jr. guy myself.
I'm a big Jimmy Johnson fan for the win.
Jimmy, you got.
Jimmy's my guy for sure. I got to go back down to the Daytona 500 to watch him this year. Well, this upcoming 500. So, But yeah, man, I got into it, and just ever since then, I always was keeping up with the racing and just.
I actually got a chance to go to Monaco and watch the Formula One when they shut the whole city down.
Yeah.
It's no experience in the world like
man,
that.
That's actually on my bucket list.
You gotta go check that one out. Monaco.
What's going on, Commanders fan, NFL fans? We just wanted to give you a huge shout out. We're live here in Houston, Texas. Just got our big win of the year. Yeah, man, it's been a good game. Looking forward to have you guys back out for the next home game. Go Commanders. Commanders fans, big win. Come back home next week. It's Atlanta. Hope to see you guys there.
Let's go, baby. We got another one, man. Let's keep this thing going. We back at home next week. I want FedEx packed, man. I want FedEx stacked. Let's get it.
They're just inside the Texans' 35-yard line. Getting conversion here, the game is basically over. Back to the ground. Robinson up the middle. He's got it. Now that's Gibson through a hole. Busts through a couple of Texas defenders. It takes 5 of them to tackle him down at the 15-yard line. Power running by Gibson. First down, Washington.
He is a strong, big back. He will break a tackle, and there, like I said, five to take him down.
This is the official Washington Commanders postgame show. Here are your hosts, Scott Jackson and Fred Smoot.
Commanders 23-10 over the Texans. Antonio Gibson today, 72 on the ground, and another 31 in receiving yards. He is your offensive player of the game, brought to you by Victory Van Moving and Storage, delivering excellent service for 75 years and a proud partner of the Washington
Gibby
Commanders.
is special to me. He's a true Swiss Army knife. I think it ain't nothing this guy can't do on the field. And as much I love B-Rob, but sometimes I'm kind of torn on who would I really start, because B-Rob got that hit him in the gut, keep punching him, beating him down. But Gibby got that extra gear, if you know what I mean. Yeah. He has that extra gear that you have, as a defense, when he's on the field, you have to know exactly where he's at every time. And evidently, Brian Robinson helped him fix that fumbling problem, because we ain't seen that.
No kidding. Yeah. That's a great point. And Brian Robinson, by the way, had the best, was it a 3-yard run today? I think he was tackled for, it should have been a tackle for loss.
For a 3-yard loss.
For a 3-yard loss, and somehow he gained 3 or 4 yards out of it. It was incredible.
On the third down.
Yes,
not that when, like my mama always
They only
told
converted 3 of them today, so think about how important that was.
Like my mama always told me, I ain't going to always be there when you want me, but I always be there when you need me. And that's when Brian Robinson, he's always there when you need him.
All right, let's get to some phone calls on this win, 800-493-1003, 800-493-1003, and get things kicked off with Jamal in Northwest. Jamal, go ahead.
Jamal, talk to us, brother.
What's going on, fellas?
Hey, Jamal.
Man, great win, man. The team right now is on a great high, man. I mean, it just feels great to be playing meaningful games this late in the season, man. As a fan of this team, y'all know this is definitely uncharted waters for us, but I'm enjoying it. I felt like we did what we were supposed to do coming into this game. Houston was a team I felt like we shouldn't struggle to beat, and they didn't. I mean, even though the second half didn't go as well, at the end of the day, it was a pretty, convincing win. We didn't have to sit on the edge of our feet for that, man. And that's great, especially coming off the high that they had against Philly. And I like to see them carry that at home against Atlanta coming up, man. I mean, Atlanta's a pretty good team, and they're not, terrible. But I definitely feel like it's a team we should be able to beat, man, and we should get the 7-5 heading into this ultimate and important game against the Giants, man. So hopefully they keep it going. Heineke, you the man, man. Like, I wish we didn't waste all those game events, but I'm not going to call for spilled milk. It's neither here nor there. They went through it, and all that matters is what we do now. And Heineke's here moving forward, and hopefully they keep it going. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you, buddy.
How does that feel, fan base? How long has it been since we watched the game stress-free? Today was not stressful at all for me. As I watched the game, I got a chance to just sit and enjoy it, take it in. Didn't have to, didn't feel like this one play was going cause us the game at any point. that felt comfortable. I didn't get any gray hairs watching the game. It was very relaxing as I felt like we had total control over this game at all time, and it had to feel good for the DMV and for the Commanders fan all over the world. It just felt good to watch a stress-free game.
Unless you're like a cardiologist and you like rely on these calls on Sundays, right, to get clients. You know what I mean? To bill money. You know,
you need the defibrillator. I got a defibrillator in my house in the living room.
Right. If you're running a defibrillator business, you've lost money today.
Most definitely. Your stock is down. You must.
You're unhappy. But besides that, yes. I mean, it was like a really laid back, never in danger. Yeah, look, it wasn't beautiful. There's some frustrating things. There's some teachable moments. But, again, a win, and it was just never in doubt. They didn't do anything to put themselves in jeopardy in this game, which was important because they've had games like that where they have, where you do put yourself in jeopardy. All right, let's get back to some calls.
Ugly things matter in this world. Ugly things matter. That's what I tell people all the time. So I take my wins ugly. I take a lot of stuff ugly. I don't care. I take them. They are still wins. I love them.
All right, Zach in Charlotte is next with us here on the Commanders Postgame Show.
Yes, great win, fellas. Great win. I'm going to have to agree with you, Fred. I think Gibby give us a little more explosiveness out that backfield. I done said it for a couple weeks here. And Heineke, man, we all love him. Great competitor. I just want to see him go through his progressions, go through his reads just a little more. He kind of will lock in on Terry. And sometimes, and I mean, honestly, he's supposed to have 2 interceptions today, but we ain't going to talk about that. But
don't put that in the universe. Don't put that in the universe. We made it through that. Don't let that go now. Let that go, brother. Left hand up.
Smooth, I got to be honest. The guy dropped the first one. That was a bad throw. But
the first pass of the game,
He got to get these other guys involved.
Yeah, well, listen, he's worked with Terry Moore. Terry and him have worked together, and, be careful what you wish for, fan base. I mean, for weeks, you're like, give Terry more chances. Give Terry more chances. That's all I ever heard for weeks and weeks. Heck, I've heard it since last season.
Yes.
And now we're getting Terry more chances. And we're going, wait a minute, don't forget. What about Samuel? What about Dodson? Give Cam Sims the ball. I mean, come on, there's only so many plays in a game. That's why I said last week 81 was amazing because you're never going to hit that number again, although – For a half, they were on pace for 82. Right. For a half, we were on pace for
42 plays.
41 at halftime. Yeah, which is crazy.
And we took the pedal off the metal.
Yes, I think they did a little bit.
I was asked the other day,
they got a little sloppy.
Who gave the best pregame speeches? And I thought to myself,
who was it?
They asked me about players.
Okay.
London was very good at pregame speeches, but London is a spitter. Right? And if you're on the front line,
right,
you could drown. Right?
Is that right?
He was very good. Coach Gibbs and Coach Schottenheimer could have been the best coaches that I had, and Coach Sherrill in pregame speeches.
Is that right?
But then I thought about it. The best pregame speech was by one coach on any given Sunday.
Al Pacino.
That is hands down.
Really?
Like, hey, even real coaches can't surpass.
I thought
it's
that
a game of inches.
So cheesy. You really like that?
Oh my God! Listen, I listen to that speech every year before the Turkey Bowl. All right, since I've been like 11 years old. That's my pregame speech before the Turkey Bowl. I'm gonna listen to it Thursday before I go out here and thrash my uncle them in the Turkey Bowl. Cannot wait.
All right. I was talking about this week, when this was that trap game. Like, Joe, to me, and you can tell me if you remember this as well, always seemed to be the one, though, that would have you scared to death about like a one-win team or whatever, like a team that's really bad. He would have you built up. He would build them up to the point where you were like brainwashed before the game, like you were thinking, "Oh my God, this team is going to blow up at any moment." And like he really built up those.
That was his tactic because he know he didn't have to get us up for the undefeated team.
Right.
He didn't have to get us up, so he would scare us with the Cincinnati Bengals of the world. Look at this, like these guys. He'll have stuff all over. These guys are going to change their season with you guys. They feel like they can change it with you guys. Coach Gibbs would play these Jedi mind tricks. He's Master Yoda. That's what I used to call him. Master Yoda, what are you doing now? And he would hit us with something to have us all like hand on your chin like, okay. And then this is when we know it was time to just run through a brick wall. He would get 2 inches close to a cuss word. and it'll be that.
Then you do get dangerous.
He will get almost close. Now look at the fellas and be like, did he almost cuss? Guys, it's time to wake up. And that's just what it is with a coach like Coach Gibbs.
All right, we'll take another break. We'll come back. If you're on the lines, hang in there. Jordan to DC, we'll get to you next. 800-493-1003, 800-493-1003. We've got good news on the pizza topping front for you as well. We are consistent if nothing else. We'll get to that coming up next. It's the official post-game show. Scott Jackson and Fred Smoot. You're watching the Command Center post-game live on the Commanders YouTube channel and listening to Washington Commanders football.
Dude. Fire. Grill master, huh?
Burgers, better with Pepsi. With the Game of Life scratch-off from the Maryland Lottery, all roads lead to fun. Play the Game of Life scratch-off today and get your chance to win up to $1 million.
To build the all-new Honda CR-V Hybrid, we took everything you love about the CR-V and kicked it up a notch with excellent fuel efficiency and greater power. For a CR-V unlike any before, adventure confidently with the most fuel-efficient full-line automaker in America. The all-new CR-V and CR-V Hybrid, part of the Honda line of rugged vehicles.
Washington Commanders football is back, and so is our BOGO. On game day, buy one large pizza and get a second large pizza for free. Order online or download the app today. Paisanos, official pizza partner of the Washington Commanders.
I'm mic'd up tonight. So make sure you give me nothing but compliments, like over the top tonight. We're in the Northeast in November. Gonna be a little chilly. Hey, how we doing?
Another boy.
Congrats, dude. Congrats, man. I don't know where the mic is. One of those is gonna be loud. Philly probably thinks I'm doing the Macarena. I got a little bit of congestion. I apologize for the loogies. Oh, yeah. I wonder if I grunt when I punt. That one was mid-sentence. That doesn't count. Hopefully I don't grunt. It's supposed to be like a nice little ball swing.
Shout out Hang Time. That's this week's episode coming out.
All game, man. It's going to be watching all game. The camera. I mean, the camera's always on, but like now it's on us. Pressure. It's going to be electric, dude. There's nothing better than winning at Philly. Good pooch ball. Yeah, that was pretty good. How about that one,
Second and goal from the 10. Samuel gets an end-around call. Couple blockers. Hits the 5. Cuts back to the goal line. Touchdown! Touchdown, Washington! A nifty run from Samuel from 10 yards out.
Curtis Samuel loves to dance in the end zone. They can do a little bit of a jig here.
This is the official Washington Commanders post-game show. Here are your hosts, Scott Jackson and Fred Smoot.
That was a 9-play, 85-yard drive that made it 14-0 in the second quarter and really put the Commanders out front today. And that was the safe drive of the game, brought to you by Crown Royal. Live generously, and life will treat you royally. Please drink responsibly.
Please drink celebrate responsibly.
Yes.
The Crown Royal way. Yes, I love whiskey. I'm that type of guy.
All right, let's do this. Let's talk about Paisanos since the Commanders scored 2 extra points today. Make sure you visit your local Paisanos tomorrow, and you'll receive 2 free toppings all day long. And this is another Taylor Two Toppings game,
I
as we're calling
was
it.
about to say, Mr. Two Toppings have struck again. How many toppings, Taylor? 1, 2 toppings.
Yes.
That's what you get. And guess what? It seems to be the magic number.
That is a number. It's a formula.
It's a
2
formula
toppings,
right now.
3 to 4 field goals. Yeah, somewhere around
I'm
that.
scared if he go 5 toppings, we
Yeah.
might lose a game. All right, that's all I'm saying.
I'd like to try it one time. just to see. Just to see.
Yeah,
Just
so
to
I
see.
can get the meat lover supreme, all right?
Right,
Yeah,
I would
must
get
have-
all meat, that's for sure, as I would often do. All right, well, good stuff there. We'll get back to your calls, 800-493-1003, 800-493-1003. Again, Commanders 6-5, first time since the 2018 season this late when, of course, Alex Smith, that was a devastating injury, obviously.
We got to stop looking in the past. We're driving this car through the front windshield, not the rearview mirror.
Right.
It don't matter what we did in the past. These Commanders are their own. Let's enjoy the now. Let's not revert back and talk about the past, the bad, the good, the ugly. This team, think about this fan base. The number 1 team in the NFL right now is the Philadelphia Eagles. This team beat them. All right, the number 2 team in the NFC is the Vikings with 2 plays away from beating them. You want to know where this team show you where they measure at? At the top. All right, we might then start at the top, but right now this is a top defense in the league. It's a top running game in the league, and we have a chance to win. All right? Now, I've always told you that. We have a chance to win every game. And you know what? Heineke got a little quarterback face, too. I like that.
All right, let's get back to the calls, 800-493-1003. Let's go back to D.C. and bring in Jordan. Jordan, you're with us after a Commanders win. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. How y'all doing?
We're doing good.
Man.
We got 2 toppings, man. Talk to us. What's going on with your left hand up?
And very excited about today's win. I'm glad he didn't fall for that trap. 6-5 feels good, but I'm looking to go 7-5 next week. I'll be at that Falcon game rooting on. Defense controlled today. Offense, a little shaky. Hopefully they'll get it together. But, hey, it's time to take command. Let's do it.
Hey, I'm with you,
Thanks,
man.
Jordan.
That's the one thing about traps. They catch mice and rats. They don't catch Commanders. All right, so we don't fall for traps. See, that's the difference, and that's what I'm talking about with this team. John Allen is playing at a all-pro level. So is his running mate, the House of Pain. So is St. Juice. All right, somebody going to have to stop it and give St. Juice his props. Every time the ball is thrown his way, it's either a tip pass that end up in Derek Forrest's hand, it's a breakup, somebody's making a play. This D-line is unstoppable. Sweat, that dog is hungry. They are hunting. Give these guys their props and let's just enjoy the now. Like, don't be worried about anything else. Let's enjoy these guys for what they're doing now.
All right, speaking of now, before we get back to calls at 800-493-1003, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Washington Commanders Radio Network.
2 tops.
Commanders 23, the Texans 10, 800-493-1003. Scott Jackson and Fred Smoot with you here. Let's get back to calls and bring in Fred in D.C. as we go.
Fred,
2 wide with Freds.
Hey, great name, by the way.
How you doing, guys? Great win. Hey, look, Fred, what made them be able to turn around the secondary so quickly? Because early in the season, I just thought that they were completely lost, and now they're playing together as a unit. Like I said, St. Juice, and how do you feel about the secondary going forward at this point, and how were they able to turn it around so fast?
Great question. I could be lazy and just say, you know what? They got Dollar Bill Jackson out of here. I could just be simply and be lazy and say that, but no, I think this group grew together. I think they had to go through some ups and downs together. So when you take Dollar Bill Jackson out and you put St. Juice to the outside, I thought that had a lot to do with it. A 6'3" corner that's not afraid of anybody. He's quickly turning into your number one. Derek Forrest into the game, moving McCain down to the nickel. That allows a lot of more versatility. Forrest showing you that he has ball skills because everybody going to try to stay away from Cam Curl. But now they running into Forrest. So therefore, and this is another reason. They're finally in sync with the front. All right, they're finally in sync with the defensive line, giving them time to put pressure on the quarterback, in turn making them, the quarterback, make plays in the linebackers. I'm not going to – everybody got on Jamie Davis as this year started, said what he couldn't do, and all I'm seeing is this guy flourish and make plays, and because we've been taking tight ends out of teams' game plan, now they're forced to throw on the outside, and we're winning on the outside, so that's why we're winning. It's a group effort on why the defense on the back end is looking so well, and sometimes you win by subtraction, and I think this wasn't a good spot for Jackson, and it wasn't a good locker room for him. Basically that's was it.
Well, again, the Forrest thing's huge, right?
Yeah.
Here's a guy we didn't really see play much at all last year as a rookie. For him to be able to play, you saw it in the OTAs. They had him in a lot of the packages. You're wondering, okay, will this translate when they put pads on?
Yep.
It's actually gotten better because he's better with pads
every
on.
game.
Because he's a physical player. He's a great athlete. He's got good hands. The ball is like a magnet. It's magnetized to his hands. It's incredible the way he can find the football. And for some of us who play, draft decision maker at home, prior to the draft, we're like Kyle Hamilton. Kyle Hamilton needs to come to the Commanders. The Commanders need Kyle Hamilton.
You are a couch Madden.
Yeah.
You think you
we
know
need Kyle Hamilton. Yeah.
And I told you we didn't need Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah.
I told you we did not need him. And sometimes you have to give players.
You had him. Who did you have him taking?
I had them taking.
I can tell you, I remember.
Dotson. It was Dotson, what?
You had him taking Derek Stingley Jr. It was long off the board. Off the board.
He was taken by this team that we just played.
Yeah.
But you know what?
He was long gone. Yeah.
He was long gone, but guess what?
But that wouldn't have been a bad idea either to get another corner.
No. I think wherever you added to on this draft, we was adding luxury. Everything was a luxury pick for us at this point. If it wasn't going to be a quarterback, it was going to be a luxury pick. So that's what you get. You get a chance to load up at a position. We did it at D-line. We loaded up at it. We're starting to load up at DB, and anybody can look at our roster and say, oh, they loaded in the running back field and the tight ends and the wide receivers.
The most impressive thing about the latest win streak and the way the defense is playing, they're doing without their normal signal caller.
Cole Holcomb.
And I look forward for them getting Cole back. It's good to see players getting healthier. Now, they did lose some guys, but, really never had McKissick this year, quite frankly.
Yeah.
He's done for the year. Rodgers is out now for 4 weeks. But, today you saw a more active and a better version of Logan Thomas, and hearing him say he's still not quite all the way back is exciting to me because he looked really good today.
He looked fluent,
yes.
And that's what you want to see. Like, I hate to see players that – they running with pain and they walking with pain. They're just telling me you're trying to play through. He's one of them guys that I think the team looked and said we brought him back too early. And that's why they probably not rushing Chase to come back because, these big guys, man, it takes a while for them to get heat up and it takes them a while to get going. But some of the catches he made today is unbelievable. We can say this about Logan Thomas. The ball touches his hand. He don't drop balls, right? If I was in an apartment on fire and I had to throw my kid and drop it down, I would drop it to Logan Thomas. That's how soft his hands is. They should be sponsored by Pampers. Huggies, preferably.
All right, let's get to Myrtle Beach.
All right, let's go to Myrtle Beach.
Great. Melvin's in Myrtle Beach. Lucky guy.
Melvin in Myrtle
Beach.
That sound about right.
Hello?
Melvin. Yeah, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man, I don't know if y'all realize this. Hey, all praise to the Commanders for this big win, but we just set a huge monumental record because our defense held Houston's defense to only 5 yards in the first half. Please name me a team that accomplished that kind of defensive domination, please.
It's hard. I could go back to some of my defenses. What about that Ravens defense that won a Super Bowl?
No doubt.
So it's been some teams that did it. But I also had to ask you, who was the quarterbacks of those teams in them defensive thing? Because I love Mills, and I think he'll eventually be a great quarterback. He's just not there right now.
He's not there yet, and they don't really have a lot of weapons on the outside.
And no offensive line. Their offensive line was terrible.
Really bad. So, look, that was a good half. Look, they handled an opponent in the manner in which you should after a big win on a Monday night on a short week. It could have been one of these letdown games, trap games, whatever you want to call it, but they did it the right way. So you got to give them the preparation, the professional
the
approach
execute,
this week was very
to come in there and get your job done when you know we're the better team. Let's go and take care of this now and early, and that's what this group did. Like I said, let's just sit back and take this group in and take our emotion out of it. See, that's the difference. That's what the fans are, fanatics, and we can be fanatics sometimes, and we get in our feelings. Let's take our feelings out and just appreciate what these guys are doing right now.
All right, let's take a timeout. We'll get back to calls 800-493-1003. We'll load them back up 800-493-1003. We'll also hear from Ron Rivera from the podium a little bit later on. And coming up, the rewarding moment of the game as well. You're watching Command Center Postgame Live on Washington Commanders YouTube channel and listening to the Washington Commanders Radio Network.
That riverboat.
Toyota is the #1 selling retail brand in America, thanks to a steady supply of new vehicles, which means faster delivery to you. And now with special financing options. Choose an electrified 40 MPG RAV4 hybrid right now with low 3.49% APR. Or take 3.49% financing on a 36 MPG Highlander hybrid. Visit your Toyota dealer and reserve yours today. Toyota, let's go places.
The modern world is a digital world. At home, at work, or on the go. We rely on data every day. Losing it can result in lost family photos, lost business, or even a lost job. Want to avoid these problems? You need cyber protection, where backup and cybersecurity meet. Only Acronis offers backup solutions that also stop ransomware before your files are damaged. It's easy, efficient, and secure cyber protection for all your data. Try Acronis free for 30 days. Go to acronis.com today for modern cyber protection.
All right, I'll ask the first question.
Okay.
What NFL team have you scored the most touchdowns against in your career? And for a bonus, do you know how many touchdowns you've had against them?
Houston Texans.
Wrong.
What? Hold on. Whoa. What team did I score the most touchdowns from in my NFL career? Hold up. Arizona Cardinals.
Correct.
Who did you score your first career NFL receiving touchdown against?
Tampa Bay. Do you remember how much you benched? How many pounds you benched?
425 pounds.
More.
$435? $445.
Keep going.
$465.
Just below 460.
I did?
That's a house.
Dude, that's a lot of weight.
That's a house. Yeah, you're a freak.
I can't even bench press 225 right now.
Neither can I, but guess what?
Picked off by Fuller. 35-30 down the sideline he goes. Pick six. He's in. Touchdown. Touchdown Washington.
We were just talking about Fuller and how he has been playing dominant. What a way to start the game.
Man, you could not play the cornerback position better than Fuller. Reading the eyes on that out-breaking route and coming away with the interception. What a way to get us started scoring on this defense.
This is the official Washington Commanders postgame show. Here are your hosts, Scott Jackson and Fred Smoot.
Yeah, Kendall Fuller on the second play for the Texans offense after the Washington offense had gone 3 and out on their first drive, able to take the pick six back, get them the early lead. They never looked back, 23-10 the final. That is a rewarding moment brought to you by the Maryland Lottery. Please play responsibly.
14-point switch with there because, let's be honest, Heineke's first pass was supposed to be a pick. I don't know if it's going to be a pick six.
No, I know with a pick six. It's a long way to go. But.
Yeah, but to come back and do that, Kendall made everybody in the Fuller family, long lineage of DBs, Mama Fuller, Auntie Fuller, all of them played cornerback at some time in their life. He made everybody smile and proud with that one right there.
All right, if you're watching us on the YouTube, we welcome you. And, of course, you could be listening around the Washington Commanders Radio Network.
I hope you're looking at us because you can see that I'm not losing
Big
hair.
100.
I'm not losing hair right now.
0.3 in the nation's capital. Let's get back to the calls at 800-493-1003. Hey, Marcus in Mississippi, thanks for waiting.
Man, y'all start looking at my hair, man.
It's the back spot. It's the back. You gotta get it above you. If we had one of those cable cams, you'd be so busted, dude. You would be so busted if we had a cable cam.
What up, Marcus? Talk to us.
How you doing, Marcus?
Hi, what's going on, Mr. John and Mr. Fred Smoot?
Hey, you
I'm calling from Hollow Springs. So what now?
Hey, Hollow Springs, Mississippi. I know where you at, brother.
Yes, sir. I came to the Green Bay game, and you come out because I'm dancing on this sofa. And you greeted me in the car in the rain, man. My wife, you sent us a 25th anniversary shout-out. You remember that?
I do remember that. I do remember coming out there, man. Nice to meet you again, brother. How did you feel about the game today?
Man, you know I'm dancing. This foot won't let me, but I'm dancing. I am dancing, man. I don't want to call with my political policy on how the game went and who should do what. I'm just glad it was a W, baby, in the win column and on the helmet as well. You know I'm celebrating.
Hey, you right about that. We eating W's right now. And how good was it to enjoy
Jameis Winston.
Yeah, how good was it to just enjoy the game without being stressed out the whole time? Wasn't that glorious?
Man, it was a piece of cake. It was a piece of cake. I know I didn't need to eat it, but I ate it. I ate all of it.
Oh, hey, that victory pie tastes good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm just hoping we keep rolling, and Atlanta got something to think about and look at when they get here.
Yeah.
I'm way down in Mississippi, but my heart is there, baby.
Hey, right. Most definitely.
Thank you, Marcus.
I'll also be down in Mississippi this week to go eat some good Thanksgiving food because in the Smoot household, we eat sweet potato pie, not like Jackson's household where he eats pumpkin pie.
Or whatever they bring. Apple, I eat all of it.
That's what I'm saying.
Like all of it.
No, pumpkin pie and potato salad with raisins in it. We don't do none of that. We don't do none of that.
Don't either do I. I don't know whose family you're talking about.
And we eat dressing, not stuffing.
I see what you're saying.
All right, thank
you. I see what you're saying. Hey, by the way, also this is the biggest game of the year for you.
Yes.
Coming up because you hate the Atlanta Falcons more than any franchise for the most petty reason. But it's
I'm
fascinating.
First of all, I'm very petty.
For those that don't know, Fred's ex-wife was a Falcons fan.
Yes, and she told me she was a Falcon fan 2 days after we got a divorce, and she was like, "By the way, I was never a Washington fan. I was a Falcon the whole. I felt like they sent a spy in to take care.
I never had any emotions about the Falcons, to be honest with you, outside of maybe the 1 year when Glanville, like they were pretty good with Glanville
and Deion Sanders. Yes, sir.
And they got smacked by this team twice, and that was the last Super Bowl team here, obviously. Smacked them twice. Once in the regular season, they put up 56 on them, and then of course just shoved them around in the seat cushion game in the playoffs that year. But anyway, I never really had any. The Falcons are just kind of like, they're whatever.
They're
like
not
the
a real
Clippers.
The Clippers of the NFL.
They weren't like a threatening team or anything, but they've had memorable games with this franchise. The game last year that Heineke, was part of last year down there was crazy, and of course he's from that area, and he was so emotional. They had the McKissick play. That was that was a fun game. But I'm rooting for more of what we saw today, which is a boring, easy game, if possible.
Yeah, but they got some athletes. You just brought it up. Cardell Patterson, Marcus Mariota. They got players, so it will be a game. But I also get this game this week And I also get the Egg Bowl on Thanksgiving with Mississippi State and Ole Miss. So it's going to be a great football day for me, and I get to go back home and hurt my old friends in the Turkey Bowl.
Well, don't hurt yourself like you did when you played those political
when I played
types.
Congress.
Yeah, Congress.
Yeah, I
That was
did
not
hurt
good.
myself.
Kind of embarrassing.
How did I get hurt by like 75-year-old debate club winners? They literally went up there and beat me up at Audi Field.
Very disturbing. All right, let's get to Sherwood in California next, who's with us here on the Commanders Postgame Show.
Good game, gentlemen. Good game.
Thank you.
This team has a lot of potential. They have a lot of potential. I think they get a couple of draft picks that they are really exploding. You know, this is a very talented team. And I do think that they're going to continue to improve. And I do think that tight end position is very good. And if they can get healthy, they can make a great contribution. Not to mention Dwayne, my man Payne. That brother can play some ball.
Yeah, he can. Sherwood.
Well, he's going to get paid. I just don't know if it's going to be here, but he's going to get paid somewhere.
This must be Barry White, brother.
I just hope they keep that line intact.
Yeah, but they're not going to be able to keep them all, Sherwood. If we didn't have a salary cap, if this was like 1988, I mean, I would be with you. But it's, you can't keep everybody.
You weren't going to be able to keep all 4 of them.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to keep everybody.
Well, you know what? I think they may have to renegotiate Wentz's contract.
No. This is the last year we on the hook for Wentz's contract.
Yeah, that'll be gone. But then what? Then of course.
But that William Jackson money will be gone. Like it's some money.
There'll be some money available.
Yeah, it'll be some money available. So it'll be a hard decision to make. But I'm sorry, you cannot re-sign Sweat, Payne, Chase Young, and John Allen. There's just too much money in one room.
Look, it's that's why the Ridgeway pickup was so important.
Hacksaw. I love Hacksaw.
Then why you had to draft Mathis.
Yeah, you had to.
So you haven't seen him yet. I mean, so look, there's depth there now. After they kind of had a situation where depth was created this offseason with Settle going. You knew you were going to lose him to free agency. They surprisingly cut Ioannidis. And hope that Mathis was going to fill that role. And Abada's been really good on
he
lot less.
And Casey Toohill.
Yeah. Toohill was here last year, was good. Solid.
Been great.
James Smith-Williams has been good. He did go out of the game late with an injury. Hopefully that's nothing serious. But, again, you'll have, I would imagine, Chase Young dressed out next week. More than likely.
All super groups break up. We watched this with New Edition. All right, they end up breaking up to Bill DeVoe. You got Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
All right, Outkast broke up. And all great super groups break up. Now the question is, can you get to the pinnacle while you still got the group intact? All right, and that's what we got to try to do. We got to try to cross that finish line before you have to pay all of them, and that's the key to it. But when you draft first rounders all in the same room, the chances of you keeping them all is slim. And that's the whole thing about good talent.
All right, let's grab where we go next. Brian in Severna Park. How you doing, Brian?
Brian, he left us.
He left us.
He a quitter.
All right, I'll tell you what. Let's re-rack the calls. We'll take another timeout. We'll get into hour 2. We will hear from Ron Rivera at some point in hour 2 as well. 800-493-1003. 800-493-1003. It is the Commanders Postgame Show. You're watching Command Center Postgame Live on the Washington Commanders YouTube channel and listening on the Washington Commanders Radio Network.
Washington Commanders football is back, and so is our BOGO. On game day, buy 1 large pizza and get a second large pizza for free. Order online or download the app today. Paisanos, official pizza partner of the Washington Commanders.
To build the all-new Honda CR-V Hybrid, we took everything you love about the CR-V and kicked it up a notch. With excellent fuel efficiency and greater power. For a CR-V unlike any before. Adventure confidently with the most fuel-efficient full-line automaker in America. The all-new CR-V and CR-V Hybrid. Part of the Honda line of rugged vehicles.
You ever wonder why people are always on their phones? They're banking with Bank of America. Look at this guy. He bought those tickets on his credit card and he's racking up the rewards.
She's using Zelle to pay him back for the hot dogs he's about to buy.
That's going to bring it to
And
a
the
close here
announcer?
after 3.
He's not checking the stats. He's finding some investment ideas with Merrill.
And third, as you know, in baseball means 3.
Digital tools so impressive, you just can't stop banking. What would you like the power to do?
It's 4th down, seconds on the clock. He hands it off, finds a hole in the middle. Clear, nothing but Brian, move! A touchdown for the win. I can't believe it.
Pizza, better with Pepsi.
Who is the most famous person in your contacts?
Oh, I got Yo Gotti.
Call him.
He's not going to answer.
Let's just see what happens.
I'm not calling Yo Gotti.
Who is the most famous person in your contacts?
I think I do have Cooper Kupp's contact.
FaceTime him. Come on, just give him a call.
Nah, I don't know him like that.
People's champ, DMV's hero. Who is the most famous person in your contacts?
I mean, I got Mark Wahlberg number.
Give him a call.
Yo, what's up, baby? Yeah, what up with it?
Chase Young has Mark Wahlberg on the phone.
Ain't nothing. How you feeling? You feeling good?
Carson, he answered the phone. He called him, and Mark Wahlberg.
Chase Young. Hey, how you got Mark Wahlberg?
He answered the
What
phone.
kind of party were y'all at?
Who is the most famous contact in your phone?
Quavo.
FaceTime.
No.
Chase just FaceTime Mark Wahlberg, and I mean,
Young. Pain.
who is the most famous person in your contacts? KD?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, FaceTime.
FaceTime him?
Yeah.
He probably at practice or something.
Let's just see.
Nah, bro.
Who's the most famous person you have in your contacts?
Derrick Henry.
Can you FaceTime him right now?
What we doing? Man, where is this number in my phone? Can't even find his contact.
Luke Bryan.
Will you call him right now?
What?
Can you FaceTime him?
No.
Who's the most famous person you have in your contacts?
Jimmy Johnson. Come on, man. The greatest driver to do it, man. You think? Okay. All right. Want.
What's going on, Commanders fan, NFL fans? We just wanted to give you a huge shout out. We're live here in Houston, Texas. Just got our big win of the year. Yeah, man. It's been a good game. Looking forward to have you guys back out for the next home game. Go Commanders.
Commanders fans, big win. Come back home next week. It's Atlanta. Hope to see you guys there. Let's go, baby. We got no.
After a 23-10 win in Houston over the Texans, Commanders now 6-5 on the year. The Falcons straight ahead at FedEx Field next week. Back to your calls. We are hanging out for another segment here on the YouTube.
Yes.
Post-game show, 800-493-1003. And, of course, another full hour here on Big 100 or wherever you may be around the Washington Commanders radio network. I got exciting news for you.
Talk to me.
Skippy the Cat is back after I think we were up too late for him last week after the Monday night game, but we have the Skippy the Cat calling. What's happening?
I should have bought my dragon, my pet dragon, so they could have got in the fight.
What's going on, Skippy?
Well, Skippy, yeah, he's naps a lot. So that late game, he naps about 12 hours a day. So anyway, that was part of his nap time. But he's all excited today. Oh man, he had me call up on a local show, and say that the Texans were probably going to win the game. And because of a mouse that told a cat that lived in the house of the Texas coach, he's going to pull out all the stops he told. Well, that was not true. Skippy made that up. He did it. He tried to get. He was betting on. Well, let's say he was going for the Commanders, and every week he's getting all these cat toys come piling in the cat door. So he's very much a devoted follower of Commanders. But you got to watch out when a mouse says something to a cat and the cat relays that to another cat. Don't believe it, because cats don't believe mice in the first place. So that was the first tip, not to believe what Skippy was saying. But anyway,
I see a mouse and a cat talking, I'm running.
Well,
I'm going to take off running.
I'm blown away that we have a talking cat number one, and now we have
a talking mouse. So it's Tom and Jerry.
Yeah.
It's Tom and Jerry.
This is like a Tom and Jerry episode.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like we're
but
living
actually,
through.
they never talked on Tom and Jerry.
That's true.
They never,
didn't. No, they did not.
They never spoke a word. I
Yeah.
still don't know how Tom sounds, how Jerry sounds.
I don't either.
But I know Slowpoke Rodriguez, who was Speedy Gonzalez's cousin. Now I know how he sound.
That's all right. Well, thank you for the call, I think. Let's get to Pennsylvania. Get back on track
the
here.
Cat Commander.
Dre in PA, what's happening?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
Good. How are you,
Good,
Dre?
brother. Talk to us.
Good, man. So, great win today. But, as I was telling my pops earlier, man, I'm like, these are the games that you got to be a little hard on yourself, man. You got to grade yourself tough in these situations. This team shouldn't be, in a close game with you. So in situational football, you got to be tough, man. We didn't do well on third down, and we didn't do well in the red zone. This honestly should have been a 35, maybe 40-0 game. Now, I am being picky, but I'm just saying in these games you got to be hard on yourself, because when you playing better competition and you have those empty drives and you're leading with field goals, it's not going to be the same result.
Do you think it's harder? Do you think it's harder for a team to get up for like the best team in the league, like the Philadelphia Eagles, or do you think it's harder for a team to get up for a team like the Texans?
I would agree. I know what you're getting at, is why I said I would agree. But yes, I do think it's harder to get up for a team like the Texans. I do. But listening to what they were saying all week, they knew what they were supposed to come in here and do, and for the most part, they did it. So I'm not sitting up here saying that, they didn't do that. But, I'm going to be harder on these kind of games because I want us to take that next step. And in order for us to take that next step, you got to execute situational football. And red zone, third down are very key. But, hey, hail to the W, good win. Let's go and show up next week at home versus Atlanta and get another one and set up for a big game against the G-Men. And shout out to my son, Quest, because he's watching and he's a fanatic at 6 years old, man.
Hey, way to raise him right. And let me ask you this before you get out. Let me ask you this, fans.
I'm here.
He's still here.
You still there.
You got him.
Now, if you could come to FedEx Field, would you have fun if I gave you a big cushion left hand? You know what I'm saying? So a big gold left hand with hail to the Commanders in it, and all the fans just waving them at one time like Pittsburgh do with the terrible towels. Would you raise your left hand in that large left hand?
I would. And I've been disciplined to myself, Fred, because I usually go to at least the home opener every year or multiple games. And this year I told myself that I wasn't going to go for owner reasons and different things like that. But I did tell my son that if we play and we get over 500, that I would show up. So
you got to pay that debt off. You got to pay that debt off, brother.
I do owe him an appearance. So I got to show up, man. But man, let's get on the roll and set up for a big game with the Giants. And you know how division games go, man. We could be looking at an 85 team, man. Let's get on the roll. Appreciate y'all, and I'll take it off the air.
Hey, listen, we got a team that's on them. Like, the one thing that you want is momentum. We're catching momentum at the right time. And, Jack, you brought some up while we were watching the game. We're not that beat up. Like,
getting healthy.
We don't have a lot of major injuries, and that's shocking at this time of year. And listen, man, this is a team that you can get behind. We know this about these guys. They're resilient. They've been through everything we have on and off the field, and all these guys do is show up and play football. You got to appreciate these youngsters for this, and that's why I tell people all the time, man, just enjoy the game. Don't worry about it. You know, some people it's about the name, or it's about this, or it's about, man, just enjoy these youngsters and what they bring to the table.
But it's a good roster, and we've been saying it all year, and it's good to see it coming together and proving that it's a good group. And look, it took them, it took some lineup changes. It took some injuries to open up some opportunities for others, and it's worked out well. They're showing off their depth. We are brought to you by Window Nation. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, and pay nothing until 2025 is at windownation.com. Steve in Annapolis, thanks for waiting. You're next up here on the Commanders Postgame Show.
I need 2 windows, please.
Steve, go ahead. We lose Steve. No, here he is. Steve, go ahead.
Hey, talk to us, Steve.
We got you?
Yeah, we got you.
Hold on, let's get on speaker.
You got it.
I want to say, Smooth, man, I love you. You were absolutely the man.
Hey, thank you, brother, man. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, brother. You look like you've been sponsored by Crown Royal right now. How you doing?
Hey, every time the play happened, we go Smooth. It was, you're really, really good to have around, man. Really, really, and you're a really good guy, too.
You have enjoyed today, ain't you, brother? You have enjoyed today.
Yeah, dude, I'd love to, I'd love to meet you, shake your hand. But anyway, I think, defense wins championships, right? You still believe that?
I still believe that, brother.
And we have, we don't have Chase, but, we have a good defense. We got a really good. They get after the ball. They attack the ball. They do a really good job today. That's all I got to say. I said defense, man, all day long, defense.
Thank you, brother. And this interview was brought to you by Crown Royal.
All right. Please drink responsibly.
The drink of champions.
Hopefully somebody's driving him.
Yeah, he has to be a rider. I hope he rode a horse to wherever he's going.
Oh, boy. All right, Stafford in Colorado. You're next here on the Commanders Postgame Show. How you doing?
What's up, guys? How are we? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you loud and
brother.
clear.
Talk to us.
Oh, great. Okay, so number one, the great Fred Smoot, 70% of the world is covered by water. The rest is covered by Smoot.
Yes, you are correct, my friend.
Was that the correct? I think you said that back in your Mississippi State days.
Yes, I said
That's
that
still
in
my
my
favorite.
He said it in 8th grade Pee Wee football, actually.
I actually said it while I was in the hospital at the tender age of 10 days old. I was 10 days old, and I told the doctor I'm going to cover the rest of the world.
Well, look, I just want to echo what the last guy said. You're a Redskins Commanders legend, and it's just wonderful to hear you every week. You bring in the exact right energy. So anyway, you're just. I think I'm about to get. I've got a Sean Taylor Redskins jersey. I think I'm going to update it, go custom, and get the Smoot Commanders jersey.
That's what I'm
what was your number?
about.
What?
Hey,
Fred, what was your number
21,
when you played?
I wore 21 and 27, so you can get the 21, so you can share it between me and Sean Taylor. That'll be a classic right there. You get the Commanders Smoot/Taylor jersey, 21 original.
Love it. Okay. So here's the question, because Fred, I got to disagree with one of the things you said. You said all of the great groups break up. When Outkast broke up, that was a tragedy. I'm not really sure Speakerbox was a great album. I'm not really sure anything Andre 3000 did on his own.
The Love
was
Below was a classic. The Love Below and Speakerbox was a classic. I enjoyed it.
Look, A.T. Aliens was a classic. Clemini was a classic. Those are classic records. Anyway, okay, so here's the question. I think Deron Payne has been playing so well, you at least need to look at some version of possibly keeping him, because it's, Fedarian is frankly, he's untested, and I just think, what do you guys think? Is it just completely unrealistic, looking at possibly keeping Deron Payne?
I think he's going to hit it big on the market.
I'm going to say,
he's
I
going
just
to
don't
hit
know.
it big on the market, man. He's had a great year.
And we can't. It's going to be hard to outbid. You got to realize it ain't your market value. It's how much is somebody willing to pay you, and you don't need but one team. I wouldn't be shocked if the Houston Texans, who we just played, throw large amounts of money at Deron Payne. So it ain't that we don't want them, and I understand it. And the best groups do break up. The Beatles broke up. The Jackson 5 broke up. Every group I know that's a great group.
Now some bands kind of reform and are still great.
Yeah,
you keep your core, like John Allen's your core, Sweat's your core, and you bring in Sammy Hagar and you get rid of David Lee Roth and you're better.
But
you have more versatile. You know what I'm saying?
But they was never the same after David. They was never truly the same. When you change the little pieces.
Band was Van Halen, okay? As long as the two brothers are there, it's always Van Halen, okay?
Yeah, but guess what?
Except when they brought the guy in from Extreme, because that was awful. But anyway, that's a whole different thing. But anyway.
NSYNC broke up.
But anyhow, yes. All right, thanks for the call.
Boys
again, these are great problems to talk about in January and February when the season's over, whenever the season ends. Maybe it's February.
I've been saying maybe we playing.
Look, you and I were having this conversation earlier. We'll do it later on. But the amount of the brand name quarterbacks, okay, outside of Mahomes and Allen, that are going to be in the playoffs this year aren't exactly what you would consider brand name quarterbacks. So for those of you that are, getting nervous about, okay, is this really enough quarterback play here to get it done?
It is.
I would say in this particular season of the NFL, yes, it is.
It is.
I really actually think
Geno Smith is the modern-day Rich Gannon. He's one of those guys that just just took his time, and now he's catching fire. Won't be no Matthew Stafford in the playoffs. Might not even be Tom Brady in the playoffs.
No
Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs.
We can definitely eliminate Rodgers now. Maybe Wilson pretty soon too. So I mean, you're not going to have the usual suspects.
But we will have a Kirk Cousins in the playoffs.
Right.
We will have maybe a Marcus Mariota in the playoffs.
Right.
We will have Geno Smith. We will.
Jimmy G's there. He's there every year.
We have Jimmy Garoppolo who wins.
But you're
more
right. But
games.
you hit it on the head. Geno Smith is going to be a playoff quarterback more than likely.
So what I'm saying,
wild.
Daniel Jones.
Yeah, maybe.
All right.
Jalen Hurts for the second time. All right. Let's get to a couple more here. We're going next. We're going to Rick in North Carolina. How you going, Rick? Rick, you with us?
Hey, gentlemen.
Yeah, Rick.
There he is.
Yes, gentlemen. Can you hear me?
We got you, brother.
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Hey, all year long, the Redskins, Commanders, we're talking about getting about off to a fast start. But then every team wants to get off to a fast start.
Sure.
But I didn't expect it from the defense today. Oh, my God, that was beautiful. When that happened, we kept them down to 2 yards in the first half. That was unbelievable. I couldn't expect more. And from your Philadelphia caller that was bashing the Commanders about not playing, it was only in the fourth quarter when they were playing back where they got the yards.
Yeah, you're right about that.
I just think offensively, he's fair. Look, the offense wasn't great today. They had one touchdown drive the entire game. 3 field goals. Ron Rivera said it on the postgame with Julie. He wasn't happy with the way the offense played.
You could have scored more.
Yeah.
Of course you did. But you kind of put it in cruise control. We see it happen all the time. And by the
way, they didn't create an opportunity for the Texans to get back in the game.
To get back into
which
it.
was important too.
And that's what you wanted right there. Yeah, if we want to shut out, but it's all about the victory. And thanks for that call from North Carolina. By the way, North Carolina barbecue is overrated, but thanks for that call.
You're not a minced barbecue person?
Think about it. When you think about North Carolina barbecue, what piece of meat comes to mind? Nothing. You think about nothing but white barbecue sauce.
Yeah, I don't like the vinegar-based sauce. It's not good.
Mustard. I'm more of a mustard-based sauce myself.
I like the hotter stuff. I like the spicy.
It's just overrated. North Carolina.
Yeah, it's not good. The minced is not good.
No, it's not.
But, it's better than not having barbecue. All right, let's go to Cali in Richmond.
Barbecue should be.
There's no such thing.
Cali
in Richmond, go ahead. How you doing?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good,
I just wanted to first give a shout out to Ron Rivera. Because at the beginning of the season, I apologize. I was on his tail about the penalties that this team had, and they have drastically improved. But, man, I just wanted to say about this game today, they played phenomenal. Last week, they played terrific, and I just got to give props. We can beat the Giants. Giants got a good running game, but after today, and, the defense looking great, we can sweep the Giants this year, and I think I'm going to make the bold prediction of saying that we probably will see the Vikings in the playoffs again. That left a bad taste in my mouth.
You're not scared of the Vikings, are you?
Not at all. Not at all. So I really do want to see the Vikings in the postseason again, just to get that win back and get Kirk back. So they got lucky, but yeah, that's all I wanted to say, fellas.
All right.
Remember this day.
Ain't gonna be no Kirk acting like riffraff on the plane today because they got beat. Won't be no 10 chains, Kirk. You know what I'm saying?
20-3, Dallas is up right now in that game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 23, and good to see that Tony Pollard just got in the end zone.
Well, I thought you was a Zeke guy. I thought you was a navel ring, more of a nose ring
I'm a
guy.
midriff guy. 800-493-1003. Marco in Milwaukee. What's happening?
Show that navel.
Hey, guys, I don't know what's going on with the fan base. And you guys are joking when you opened the show up that Andrew Ridgway duplexed somebody was funny. That was a dumb penalty. I almost take this as a loss. We played like garbage today. We should have beat these guys 40-3. Ron still coaches scared when we get up. If it wasn't for the interception, pick six, I don't know what we're all celebrating. Like this is the 85 Bears. Guess what? In the last 5 minutes, they drove right down the field. They scored on us. We played soft. I mean, what did I watch a different game? I mean,
I was wondering, did you watch a different game? Did you watch a Flow Model TV or something? At the end of the day, these guys went down there and got a victory. And by the way, the 85 Bears is the only time Chicago ever had some luck in their life. Let me tell you something what these guys went out there and did. They went out there and they beat the team they were supposed to be beat. And what Ridgeway did is send a message to everybody in the league. You come this way, you might get suplexed. That we ain't worried about that. This team showed up. They was the most physical team, and they won by any means necessary. Come on, man. I see right now you a half glass cup empty type of person. Well, I'm half full, and right now we're on a winning streak, and I don't care how they win. Hey, ugly, medium, great, it doesn't matter.
But we're good to hear from somebody in Milwaukee, though. That's good. I mean, there's no Packer game today.
It sounds like in Milwaukee. It sounds like he snowed in right now. It seems like he snowed in, and he miserable, and he mad because we didn't blow out the Texans by 40. Who has blown out the Texans by 40? No one.
I thought the Eagles actually had an issue with the Texans on a Thursday night not too long ago.
They did.
But anyway.
See, that's what I'm saying. See, people want their cake and eat it too. It's like they want to win, but they want you to win by 40. That ain't how life is.
It was just a few weeks ago this team was 1-4. So maybe that, I don't know. This, maybe 6-5 versus 1-4 is a little bit better. Yeah, it wasn't a good offensive game. I mean, I think we did say that multiple times. All right. 800-493-1003. All right, let's get Rick in Waldorf before we get to a timeout. Rick, what's happening? Rick, you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you, bro. We got you, Rick.
All right, look. We got to put wins back in, man. That's a long story short. That offense is trash.
Negative group.
Okay.
It's very negative, but that offense is trash. Like, we got to put up some points. Wentz is putting up 300-plus yards with the receivers. Heineke is
How many
literally
weeks ago
doing
was that? That was you're talking about the Week 2 game, or are you talking about the Texans game when they couldn't get first downs, and then the Titans game.
Yeah.
And then they got a bunch of yards late, or is that the game you're referring to?
All hollow yards.
Did you watch the last game? Did you watch the Thursday nighter against the Bears?
Yeah.
I'm talking about tonight. We not putting up no offense. So we got to put up some offense, man.
Yeah. So what would you rather see, offense or wins? Offensive wins. Which one? Offensive win. You rather see us get 500 yards and lose, or get 250 yards and win?
But we putting up no offense and we beating bad teams. I'm talking about putting up offense and beating good teams.
We just played the number one team in the NFL in the Philadelphia Eagles and the number 2 team in the NFC with the Minnesota Vikings and lost by 2 plays. We're not playing anybody. What are you saying?
So you think the strength of schedule is going to go is the problem right now, or BCS number? Maybe do you think they'll get in the bowl the bowl championship series or not? Is that what you're concerned about? All right, thanks for the call.
I don't understand. Like, listen,
they just
fans.
beat the Eagles, man. I get it. Again, this was the ultimate walk into the trap game, no question. And you want to make a quarterback change?
See,
come on now.
Like some people need to know what a quality win looks like. This is a quality win. Like, everybody wants to see 400, 500 yards of offense, and then we lose 40-43. I guess this is too boring because it's 3 yards in a cloud of dust. We're playing into the strength of the team. The strength of this team is not the offense, it's the defense like we thought when the year started. Like the special teams in Tress Way. All right. Did you not see Joey Sly kick somebody in the eye? At the end of the day, we have weapons everywhere, and I'm sorry we're not the greatest show on turf, but they do enough to win games. Do you think Minnesota Vikings care how they win it? They don't care. They don't care.
I think the Ravens won a game 13-3 today. I do believe the Eagles were in a barn burner with the Colts.
Yeah.
Won 17-16, which this team was a few weeks ago. So, again, they'll ask you how many, not how, when the season's over. But, yes, do they strive to do better offensively? Of course. You have to play better offense.
If I'm looking for
Agreed, but again, you're not going to make a quarterback change when you flip the season around with a guy who's playing quarterback, unless you want to lose the entire locker room. If you want to lose the entire locker room, you nailed it. That's exactly what you should do. But I would just say go back and review what you saw prior to the quarterback injury, what was going on, because I think you're misremembering, as the great Brian McNamee once said. All right, that's going to, I think, do it for the YouTubers. By the way, on the way out, you can check out the the post-game speech by John Allen. Is that right? Is it
Yeah,
John
that's
Allen?
about Jonathan
Allen.
Commander Allen.
Commander Allen on the post-game show. We're going to break. We'll come back. We'll hear Ron Rivera with the crew from last hour. If you missed that, it is short, sweet, and to the point. We'll get to that straight ahead. Commanders 23-10 over the Houston Texans today. You're listening to the Washington Commanders football.
Hey, it's a hell of a game. It's a hell of a game. A lot of good things, a lot of positive things, guys. But understand one thing. A little bit sloppy. We can be better. We got to be better. That's the truth of the matter. Understand who you guys are, who you're becoming. Becoming a hell of a football team. But the only way you can do that is pay attention to the details. Understand how important the little things are. And when you get a chance to finish the game, finish it strong. Finish it strong. A lot of positive things, guys. We're gonna learn from these things. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Hey, as a team, I think we understand we didn't really finish the way we wanted to. Yeah. Defense, they had 9 yards in the first half, and they did all that in the second half. Yeah. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because when we win, sometimes it's hard to see the lesson because we're excited, and I don't want to dampen the mood, but we got to understand that first half we really show what we can do. Defense in the second half, we can't come out here and be sloppy, and I'll be the first one to admit I wasn't as focused as I should be. Offense, I know you guys are better than that in the red zone. And I'm not calling anybody out, I'm calling everybody out because we got to be better. We play like that on Monday night against the Eagles, we don't win that game. We know that. Good win, we're going to enjoy it. Let's refocus, you know what I mean? Let's not have to have a loss to get ourselves refocused.
Yes, sir. All right, here you go. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3, team!